UGA fans, welcome back to Hunker Down Season 3. Yep, you guys said it couldn't be done. A lot of people told us not to do it. We're doing it anyway. Of course, I'm Jeremy York. He's Jake Skinner. Uh, Maybe I was a little confused by it. It's been so long since we did a show, Jake, that when you said, hey, let's get on and talk some football, I think I put on the wrong shirt.
It's close enough in color. We'll count it today.
Yeah, it's actually like deep burgundy, but against this backdrop, it looks like cherry red. So
You'd fill it. Yeah, it works.
go Hammers, by the way. But as we said, we're back for season 3 of Hunker Down. This is Impact Media's weekly drive right through the hedges into the world of UGA football. Uh, Man, I'll give it to them, kind of a quiet off season for once. I have to applaud that either they did
hmm
a good job of covering it up or they just didn't really get in a lot of trouble.
I think Kirby's finally getting through to the team when it comes to speeding and everything else.
Yeah.
Maybe it also helps that the Athens Clark County Police Department isn't weren't being a-holes for once. And yes, I will happily call them out because they target the players, and I've spoken to someone who admitted that they do it on purpose.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I could see that, and yeah, I'm not going to
Let's
throw
just
you
put it this way.
completely under the
I'll put
bus. Hey,
let's
we're calling you out.
Let's just say that Nick Saban and Tuscaloosa Police Department got along real well, and I don't think the police department in Athens are very friendly, apparently.
I've heard that, but all the times I've driven through Athens, I have never gotten a chance to have a chat with them, and I consider myself very lucky for that. So I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah, just if you ever get pulled over, just go, "Hey, I'm not a football player." They should let you go.
Roll Tide, move along, sir. Uh,
Yeah,
but like I said,
it's been quiet. It's been nice, to
yeah,
be honest with you.
right. I kind of said that, because you were like, hey, let's start bouncing some topics around, and I was like. They really didn't do much, and not in a bad way. They just quietly have went about their business. They're gearing up for what could be a surprise banger on week 1, but we'll get into that in a minute. Uh, I guess since it's been so long since we've been on, what you been up to in the off season?
Been cruising the Gulf of Mexico for a week, staying busy. Just this week's better than the first week I've had a chance to sit down and relax, and even then I've been nonstop
I
past
know
week or
that
so.
feeling
Yeah.
because for people who don't know, I got the bright idea that I wasn't covering a lot of sports this summer. That I was going to cover more professional wrestling, and I ended up picking up a couple side gigs, writing articles and reporting on wrestling shows, all in the West Georgia area. So instead of having a quiet summer, I'm the same way. The fact that we both had about 30 or 40 minutes to sit down and do this is astounding,
It really is. It
and it
really
only gets
is.
more from here. But
True.
what you want to get into first? You want to talk a little bit about the schedule? You got a kind of a season overview in mind?
Yeah, so I can kind of go over it. So I had their schedule pulled up a second ago. Let's see.
Well, I mean,
Because
they
I like
open up this
we got
Saturday
Marshall.
at
Yeah.
3:30 against Marshall. As somebody who has seen Marshall up in close, up in personal a handful of years ago. Marshall is always going to bring it. They're a tough team,
Well,
and
it's gonna be
not
fun
just
to see
because of
though.
their history.
They
Yeah,
lost 90% of their roster this year to transfer portal.
that's very true.
They
But
lost,
so
so
did
we don't know what
Cotton.
they're gonna have because most of them followed their coach to wherever he went.
Yeah,
Um, but that's the only bad thing is you don't know what they're gonna do. Is you don't know any of these players, you don't know the system, so expect not to get into too much of a preview, but you expect very vanilla this week. I hope you like vanilla cupcakes.
I think I like cupcakes in general. I think we went over that beforehand when I told you my dinner so far tonight has been
Yes,
some chocolate chip cookies. So I would tell you what kind of chocolate chip cookies, but they don't sponsor the show. If
fair
you
enough.
if you make chocolate chip cookies or cupcakes and want to sponsor the show, hit us up here. We will gladly eat them on camera and tell everybody how great they are.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
they get the 3:30 kick. That's always nice because
oh
this
yeah.
this was screaming 12 noon kickoff. So I'm glad it got bumped to 3:30.
Yeah, me too.
ESPN's actually going to show it. That's a good thing because ESPN knows what they're doing when they shell out tons of money for great content. Appreciate you guys with all the WWE stuff. It's a different show though. But looks like the total is at 55.5, and UGA is they're that spread is just 39.5. That's pretty close.
I'll say this, we don't cover it.
I don't think so either
It's just too
because
big of a first game.
Kirby has nothing against Marshall.
No, but I mean, we'll take that to get into it. So I'll go straight into the offense because that's what everyone wants to
Yeah.
know. We're coming back with Mike Bobo, or as you like, as a lot of us like to call it, damn it, Bobo. I will be uttering those words. Sorry, family. But I'm just not going to beat around the bush. This might be the most talented roster on the offense that Kirby's ever put together. That's not, and every one of those people, and I was a Carson Beck fan last year. I believed he could do the job. You remember we talking, and I'm like, I just don't know that Gunner's going to be able to do the job at times. He did not do a good job against Notre Dame. Gunner is Gunner. He is not going to wow you with his arm. For all intents and purposes, we're doing what we did when we had Stetson Bennett here, which was surround your offensive coordinator and your quarterback with as much talent as possible and let everything sort itself out. That being said,
Well, plus,
we have the
well, Gunnar had an entire off season now. From the time your season ended till now, he's had
Mhm.
all this time. They can put everything
Right,
around him. They can
exactly.
talk with him, put everything into place. So I feel good about where he's at right now.
He's in a good one. From what I've heard in the fall camp, is that he is playing very Stetson Bennett-esque in fall camp, meaning
Except for
21
he's about a
Stetson.
foot taller, I think.
No, he's only like 2 inches. He's not that much bigger than him.
That's a good bit though.
No, Stetson's 5'11".
2 inches is still 2 inches.
Yeah. So what I'm understanding is Gunner is just doing the right thing. Is he's allowing his playmakers to play. He's not turning the ball over and he's making the smart calls. Going into that, we know what we've got. Don't expect anyone else to start. It's not going to be Pugs. If we see Pugs at any point this season, not saying abandon ship, I think the kid's got talent. He's just not ready to lead an offense. He gets flustered and he tries to play Brett Favre gunslinger, and that don't mesh with Kirby's defense.
Is that right? Am I seeing this right? That for one, I figured Pugs would be the backup, but is every other quarterback other than Gunner a freshman on this roster?
Yes.
Okay. It's just that time of the program, so that makes sense. And that's not like a oh by default it's going to be Gunner. No, no, no. Every one of these, Ginn, Millender, Montgomery, and
Yep.
Puglisi, all had the opportunity to unseat Gunner, and they didn't. So,
Yep.
not saying they're probably just not ready, but this was a slightly open competition. We knew Gunner was going to take it unless one of them just blew the doors off the place.
Yeah. The thing you're going to run into, because yeah, 20, he's a true freshman, yeah, is yeah, sorry, I was doing mental math. So
Mm.
it was Gunner's team. Hugs was to be the backup. We tried to bring in a quarterback in the offseason. We had one about to commit, but he flipped to USC last second because we didn't promise him some extra money and cash and all, because Kirby wasn't going to do that. And that kid's now starting at USC. Um,
Good for him.
but good for him. So we got Pugs. We've got Ryan Montgomery, which I will tell you, there are people who already say he's probably the second best quarterback on the team right now as a true freshman. He's only thrown 2 picks all fall camp. Over 50% were thrown by Pugs.
I mean,
I'm just saying. Coulter again he's one of those walk-on just practice squad guys, and they said he might have the
yeah,
best ball of all of them as a squad as a backup kid.
best
Um,
mechanic, basically.
yeah, exactly. But he knows what he's doing. And then of course we added Hezekiah Millender. I think that's how you pronounce it. Uh, don't know a ton about his game, but I do know that he was a last minute. Hey, we're gonna go out and get him, but he's a local kid out of Clark Central, so he could spin it. I just don't see starting. I definitely think the starter in the future is either going to be Montgomery or Curtis, who comes in next year.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
can see those.
I'm going to go ahead and hit the wide receiver room real quick because
Yep.
Georgia made some strides in that room this offseason. We have
Yes, they
Colby
did.
Young coming back. We got transfer Zach Branch out of USC, who they said our defense could not cover him all spring and all fall. That's just
Mm.
how quick he is. We got senior transfer Noah Thomas out of Texas A&M. He heard he's been balling out. The freshman Talon Taylor, Sokovia
Easy for
White,
you to
who's
say.
right. Sokovia White's been busting it. Um, The freshman Wiley, CJ Wiley, was someone who I didn't know we could hold on to. There's a kid out there wearing number 84, white dude, looks like a little bit like Lad McConkey out there, named Landon Roldan, and one of those
Is it
Kirby
rolled
Smart
in or rolled in?
Roldan, I think's what I've got. I'd have to look at like a pronunciation guide. I have to pull that up next time.
Then Landon,
But
here's my best advice for you: change your last name to Roldan. It sounds way better.
but he's one of those where everyone that we've got, you're going to see some rotation. This is the best wide receiver room Kirby's ever had. We've not had anything like this ever, as far as I'm a. No, these are none of these guys are your George Pickens first rounders, but
Yet,
you've got the most talent around. Not even like London Humphreys. I forget about him. There's just so much talent around him that it's hard to fail unless your
yeah,
entire team goes down with the injury bug. And Georgia is also, switching gears on that one, the healthiest they've ever been coming out of fall camp at running back. We have six running backs for last year we had two or three. We know our starter is going to be Nate Frazier. The
yep.
kid was great last year. He'll be good this year. Let's just hope he doesn't get. We need the fumbles to stop. So the cool thing is you've got two different running backs that are already taking that second and third spot, and they're both freshmen. Chauncey Bowens, a redshirt freshman. Or I don't think he's listed a sophomore on here, but he's got one varsity. I think he did play more, so he might be a sophomore.
I think he did.
He's been coming on pretty. Had a legacy kid for practice squad named Gannon Hurst. You'll never see him play. I hate to say that, but we did add him. And what number does he wear?
Who's his dad or grandfather or uncle or whoever?
Garrison. His dad's Garrison.
Okay. I was gonna say, is that Garrison Hurst? Because
Yes, it
that's the
is.
Hurst I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but we did add a kid named Bo Walker. I love that name for Georgia. Number 24, you will see him. He's all of 5'9", 210. He runs about 3 inches off the ground. When he runs, he gets his pad level so low that behind our offensive line, he's going to eat yards this year.
Oh yeah.
And then we still have our Thunderbacks. We got a transfer, and wish I had better notes, but I never do. Josh McCray came out of Illinois. He is not used to playing this kind of level of football, so he's struggling to adjust. And redshirt sophomore Roderick Robinson,
I don't
finally
know,
healthy.
Illinois. That's Big Ten. He can play big boy football.
He can, but he's missed half a fall camp because he got dinged up day one, and he's like, "What
Oh,
the heck is this?" Yeah, like he was not prepared. This I will go ahead and tell you, Georgia fans, this team is loaded with sophomores and freshmen. This is not a senior-laden team of days old. This is a lot of young kids, and our best players are young. You are going to see freshmen starting,
yeah.
including more than likely the first starting offensive lineman since Andrew Thomas. Juan Gaston or Gaston. No one blocks like Gaston. No one. Yeah, but
You said that. That's who I was thinking of.
exactly. But I can tell you from what everything I've heard, he's all of 6'7", 360, and he's dropped down to closer to 340s. They put him in at guard in the offseason just to see how he do, and the day he took over, he was pushing seniors around. And our defense has been no
Oh,
joke
there's a familiar name
either.
that, or there's a last name that people may want to point out on the offensive line. Is he related to who we think he is?
Yes, he is. And the dude, I will say this, Bobo's son is a beast. He's playing starting center.
I
Last
heard
year, what
that.
was our
I
biggest
heard he was
problem?
hot.
Running the ball. We could not run the football for anything. We tried to throw it, and people were prepared for it. Georgia should get back to it because this offensive line is not as talented as last year's when it comes to draft profile. But that doesn't matter. It matters what happens between the hedges on Saturdays. And this
Yep.
group is hungry. They want them all. Like, just put a body against a body and let them show what they can do. You're not going to see them getting popped back like they did last year. So I think the offensive line will be better all around. The running game goes. All of a sudden, your passing game is going to light up. And we need Gunner to not throw any interceptions best as we can. Throw 250 a game, run for a buck 50 to 200, go home, and you will put up points.
You want him to be Mark Sanchez, except for without
No,
running
but
into the back of his own lineman.
right. Honestly, we just needed to do what Stet did in 21.
Yeah.
Throw the
Control the
ball, make t
football. Don't turn it over. Make a play when I ask you.
right. Because I mean, let's be honest. Because this team is built around Gunner. Because your top two outside wide receivers are going to be 6'4", 6'5". Back
Yep.
shoulder fades, deep balls, and you've got a kid across the middle in Zach Branch, who all he has to do is catch it in the slot, and the dude will go. Like he does against our own defense. And I'll flip to that. defensive side of the ball and say that this team does not have the 21 senior leadership, but the fact of the matter is the freshmen and the sophomores are coming along. Kirby might have the best secondary in the country built right here. You have three starting cornerbacks, and you can only start two.
Okay.
And yes,
Yeah.
Ellis Robinson, I'm hearing Ellis Robinson might be starting when they come out in the field on Saturday. The red shirt. I think we played him most of last year, so he was a sophomore.
Yeah.
He was one last year that I wanted to take over. He's put on the weight. He's not been as physical, but I've heard his running. He's no longer a detriment to the run game, and he actually can tackle now. But he has been
Okay.
picking off pugs at least once a week, and every quarterback has started to pick directly to him, and he's making plays we haven't seen since Champ Bailey.
Something I'm noticing too when I'm just looking at the hometowns and where a lot of these, especially some of the younger guys on the
Hmm.
team are coming from. This is a little bit of a change here, Georgia fans. Something that a lot of people yell at every other team about. There's a lot of local kids on this, and it's not like, oh, we couldn't get the kids from California, the kids from Wisconsin, the kids from Florida. It's like, no, no, no. You actually just walked outside your own house, looked over the fence, and realized that kid's pretty good too. All he's got to do is just walk across. So you have padded up with a lot of Georgia
Hmm.
talent for this
Kirby
UGA team.
Kirby went after a theme this year. He wanted kids that wanted to be a Bulldog. He's
Yeah,
like, he's like, I'm not going to not pay you to come here, but you've got to want to be a Bulldog first. The money
yeah,
will come second. So
yep,
Kirby's not playing games with building this team. This team is built around less about themselves. They are built around the team performance. So
yep.
you're gonna have that kind of stuff, but this roster looks good. I mean, I think
Oh,
this
they do.
build is going to be more fun to watch than last year, provided the coordinator calls the right plays and puts us in a spot to win. Sorry, I keep looking back because the cat is going insane tonight and keeps trying to knock on a door.
She might be knocking on the wrong door.
She might be. Come here. Come on. So, but yeah, this football team, I'm looking forward to seeing how they play this year. She's making her appearance for
There
this
she is.
for the start of the
There's
year.
Kiyoshi, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Kiyoshi.
She's like, "Get me down out of this place. I don't like this." But yeah, I mean, there's not a the only weak spot you could say that Georgia's got this year is going to be the defensive line. Um, not that they're
And
bad.
it's just because they're more unproven. We don't know what exactly they're all
No.
capable of in the
Hmm.
ways they're going to put them in there. Like we can say, well, last year this guy and this guy and this guy did this, or this guy did this at the other place he was at. Well, until we see them lined up next to each other, we don't know what we're
Right.
going to get yet.
And we're better than we are last year. We have more guys playing, and we have in everything starts on defensive line, the defense in the center with your defensive tackles, especially the 3-3-5. You run two defense attack, nose tackle, defensive tackle, and a defensive end, or an edge player.
Yeah,
And then you can kind of flip your edge into like a five technique, which is a linebacker. I'm still learning how that because it's not your traditional 3-3-4,
no,
4-3. Um, but true freshman Elijah Griffin, who I believe, yeah, out of Savannah, we held on to him.
yep,
We're hearing his name mentioned in the same echelon that Jalen Carter was mentioned his freshman year.
interesting.
Now he's not. We're not saying he's that good, but he has been taking plays. He came on pretty strong. Again, this roster is one of the most talented ones we've. It may not be full of RPC, but I feel like this team has got that. A lot of this defense and a lot of this offense will be drafted within the next 2 to 3 years.
That makes a lot of sense.
So I think this could be a good again. Bobo Damon there it is. Bobo's going to run what he play. It just is, but there's enough talent there to mask deficiencies. Hopefully, last year we couldn't do it when the passing game died. We didn't have the running game. We limped along, throwing the ball 40 times a game just to try to hope with Arian Smith dropping the football. This pass catching group is known for catching, so we should be fine.
That makes a lot of sense. Let's talk about the special team.
Special teams, it's a known commodity. I mean, we're going to end up with Brett Thorson, the Thunder from Down Under again. Last I heard, he's still not now. after that leg injury he had against Texas last year. So I think if he does come back, it'll be a halfway through the year at the latest.
Hmm.
I think it was just because it was his plant leg, so he's got to be able to trust it. But
Right.
since he's not going to be ready, Drew Miller's take will take over the punting duties, and he'll be fine.
Okay.
He's got a booming leg. He just doesn't have the hang time that Thorson did, but he still has the distance. He just doesn't get it quite up, vertical. And kicking is going to be, I believe it's still going to. They brought in Liam Badger out of Kennesaw State as a potential like backup just for some competition, but he won't see the field unless something really goes wrong with Peyton Woodring because Woodring is just that good. Dude's got a cannon. And as far as the kick returns, Zach Branch, Sokovie White, and I want to say they mentioned there's another one back there they've been playing around with, but I can't
I think
remember
there's
who
a
it
couple,
was.
but they haven't really announced them yet because I think they're trying to keep it kind of
Oh,
under
you're going
wraps.
to see
But
quite a few, like Dwight Phillips Jr., a running back who is all of
mm,
5'10", 185 pounds, but the dude runs like a 4.240. So he's a gadget guy. So you've got two or three, like honestly, with blocking, we actually have people back there now who can make plays for once. So again, I am excited for this roster. I think it's a very talented one, if not young. And luckily, we have 2 weeks to ramp up before we have to play in Neyland this year.
yeah, and I'll say real quickly, as somebody who saw Liam Badger kick in the past couple of years, I would very much like to see him and Woodring go kick for kick. I think he can hang with him. He might can boom and actually he might can beat him on a couple of days, but clearly it's Peyton's job to lose.
Yep.
But that's a good thing, UGA fans, because if Woodring gets dinged up or for some reason is having an off day, the guy behind him can hit just as much. And then
Yeah,
shout out Bo Gardner and Will Snellings, who will never get mentioned anywhere on any other UGA show because long snappers are people too.
they are. And Bo Gardner, he was one that we really wanted, so they went and got him. And what was the other guy's name you said?
Snellings.
Will Snellings. Yeah, so we got two good
Yep.
long snappers for sure.
Yeah.
I've heard good
Very
things
good.
about them. So again, overall roster is one that I'm happy about. I'm ready for some football. Definitely looking forward to this Saturday. I'll tell you now, like I said earlier, expect a very vanilla Georgia. Don't expect them to do a whole lot, even though I would love a play action post route or like deep ball first play of the game just to see if it's open. But I think you're going to see a football team come out, drop 30 to 40 and give maybe a touchdown and two field goals before it's all over.
Give me a score real quick.
So 13 for Marshall. I'll say 41 for Georgia with two field goals.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I had the same 41-13 written down before you said that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick with it. If we agree, we agree.
Yeah.
And that's nothing personal to Marshall. I've seen them. They're gonna bring it.
They're
But
just an
we
unknown
got
commodity right now.
we got like 5 minutes, so let's get into how many we're gonna call this year. 3 or 4 a
I'd
week
say
or
stick with
five.
3, 4. I'll go ahead and say this going into it. Tennessee, I don't think poses a problem because they have a quarterback issue right now. They're not as good as they think they are with the quarterbacks. I'll go ahead and say this. I kind of agree with the guy I like to follow. Georgia goes 11-1 this year, with their only potential loss being sitting in Auburn because their two hardest other games are in Athens this year in Bama and Texas.
Normally, I do a gentleman's agreement with another person that I encounter every
Yep.
day that I am acquaintances with. We're not friends. I'm going to call it and say they get 2 losses this year. You want to put something on it?
I can't afford to
That's
this year. I got too many
a
bills, man.
stipulation. Not we don't do money. That's illegal in the state of Georgia. That's
Fair enough.
maybe we'll talk about it after the show.
We'll talk about it after the show.
But Texas, Ohio State.
Oh, that's gonna be a heck of a game. Starting off at 12 o'clock of all times. That's the dumbest thing. It's Ohio State at home, breaking in a new quarterback. Texas is breaking in a new quarterback. Uh, I'm going to take Ohio State in that one simply because Texas might have the defense and one of the more talented defenses. I, Julian Sayan's a good quarterback, and they've got Jeremiah Smith and some talented weapons around him. I just think that's going to be a close game, and Ohio State ekes it out in the end, maybe by a field goal.
Go Arch. Hook 'em horns.
Fair enough.
Uh, Alabama going down to Florida State. That's yes,
Alabama.
it's number 8, but yeah, I
No.
think we both agree on that one.
Florida State's looking for a new coach at some point if they can afford it.
Yeah, and they're not ready. They're not ready
No.
for that. LSU, number 9, LSU traveling up to South Carolina to take on the Clemson Tigers. That is a 7:30 ABC. Who you got in that one?
Give me the Tigers. I'll take the Bayou
Yeah,
Bengals in this one.
really?
I'll take them in a known commodity, and I think their quarterback's better. I think they got the talented
I agree
roster.
with that.
Clemson's not going to be bad, but Clemson at the past until Clemson proves me wrong, they are a top 10, not a top 5 team, and they have been ever since Georgia beat them in 21. Clemson has been not themselves.
I think this is Clemson's rebound year, where instead of being worse than people think they are, I think they're going to be slightly better. I got Clemson at home to open it up. I think it's early enough to beat LSU. Later in the year, it might be tougher.
True.
Um,
That is fair
number
because
6.
their coach does fold in big games sometimes.
There you go. Number 6, Notre Dame at number 10, Miami. This is Sunday at 7:30 because this is the only time they can play during an NFL spot
Ooh.
because there's no NFL game.
Hey, guess what? It's Catholics versus convicts again. And Carson Beck is going down there to play quarterback for Miami. I'm going to go ahead and take Notre Dame, even though I want them to lose.
I
I
think
just
both of
don't.
them.
I just don't think that. Same. I just don't think Miami's got the talent around Carson. He claims that they do, but let's just be honest. They're looking for a new coach before the end of at the end of the year, if not next year.
Apparently, Carson is flakier than the 50 surrounded by, and I'm taking Notre Dame because he even he can't even. The whole reason he went to Miami, he's already squandered that. So I hope the money's paying off Carson because kind of glad you're out of Athens. Is there another
Yeah,
game? We only got
he.
like a minute and a half.
Any other good
No,
games?
not
Hey,
really.
Bill Belichick on Monday Night Football. His
Okay.
North Carolina
What's
Tar
that
Heels
game?
plays TCU.
Where's that at?
That's in Chapel Hill. TCU is a -3 to win.
Ooh,
Give me North Carolina because a Belichick coach team. The last time we saw him struggling, I think he wants a redemption tour in the NFL. He wants one more go to go break the records. So I think he's going to put his heart and soul into this team to get them back fighting, like at least prove he still has it.
I do
Because
think he's going to do that, but I think the Reptilians are going to beat him in week 1.
fair enough.
But we'll post up all of our stuff for people who want to screenshot it. I will post that up later because we that is our new co-host. You guys will see the dry race board quite a bit this year. But there's the start of season number 3 in the books. We're going to be talking so much more Georgia. Who knows? We might have some extra people on the show. Still working that out. But for Jake Skinner, I'm Jeremy York. This has been Hunker Down season 3. We will see you guys next time. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.